Hey guys, today's Monday, August 17th, and we are starting on matter. So if you're at home watching this, I want you to be sure you stay along with us and send me any questions in the comments that you have. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to my website. It's Tison, Tison, PCHS.weebly.com. You're going to go up to the top and you're going to go down to matter and click on matter, and it'll pull up this page I've got right here. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to look through what we're going to be learning. It says obtain, evaluate, and communicate information to compare and contrast the phases of matter as they relate to atomic and molecular motion. So what we're going to be doing today is talking about the little tiny particles that make up everything that we know of. So the first thing that I want you to do is watch this video. It's also going to be linked to Google Classroom. Go ahead and watch that video. Pause this and go ahead and watch that. All right, when you get back, what we're going to do is we are going to look at some notes on what matter is made up of. So right here, and you don't have this paper, but what I do want you to do is possibly write this down if you have a sheet of paper with you, and keep it in your notebook in section 1 for matter. Okay, so matter, we know, is made up of atoms. Atoms are the tiniest particles of matter, and they have 3 parts to them. Atoms have a positive proton, a neutral neutron, and you can remember this because neutral and neutron have the first 5 letters, and then they have a negative electron. Try to think back to when you learned this in middle school. Protons and neutrons are both located in the center of the atom, called the nucleus. And the electrons are found in the electron, and I'm going to abbreviate it E minus, cloud. Okay, so you've got an atom with a positive proton, a neutral neutron, surrounded by these little electrons. Now, these atoms are going to make up every single thing we talk about in this class, so it's really important to understand that the atom is the smallest unit of matter. So if we come down here to the bottom, it asks us, what is an atom? We just said an atom is the smallest building block of matter. All right? So, if the atom is the smallest unit of matter, we know that how much matter we have is our mass. So the amount of matter inside you makes up your mass, which is the amount of matter you have, okay? So let's say we want to know what exactly is matter. We just said everything that's in us, all of the atoms in us make up matter. So matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. So matter is made of atoms. All right, now we're going to talk about volume. You've learned this before, we're not going to hit too much on it, but volume is the amount of space that something takes up. So volume is how much space something takes up. And now we really need to focus on what do these little particles look like. So you know that when you breathe in oxygen. Oxygen is the element O, and it looks like this. This is what oxygen looks like, a little red ball. But the air that you breathe in is not just one oxygen atom. It's 2 of them, O2. Do you know what we call 2 elements bonded together? So this is 1 element. Here's 2 of them bonded together. When you have 2 of the same element bonded together, you have an oxygen molecule. So oxygen by itself is just an element. Okay, so we have our oxygen element and we have our O2 molecule. Okay, and so then we know 2 or more atoms of the same element right here is our molecule. Two or more atoms of the same element is our molecule. Our element is one type of atom right here, just one type of atom. And so then we need compound. So you know you breathe in O2, a molecule. But we know we drink water, which also has oxygen combined with hydrogen. So when we take our oxygen and pair it with two other elements, we make a compound. So when we have H2O, we have a compound. We don't just have one element now, we have two elements bonded together. So we have our compound. So our compound is going to be a substance with two or more atoms bound together. Last thing, a mixture. Let's say we took water and we took oxygen and we took oxygen elements and we put them all together. That would be a mixture. Things that have different properties that are all mixed together. So for mixture, think about trail mix. They all have different properties. You have peanuts, you have raisins, you have M&Ms, but you mix them all together and they are a mixture. Think of a salad. A salad is a mixture. All right? So what I want you to do now is I want you to go back to Google Classroom. Let's say you are in third period. It would be listed by the day. So if we were in third period, let's refresh it. You'll notice that you'll see when you get here, all the way down under matter, you will see something that says, what is matter, Monday 8/17. That will be down here at the bottom. All right. The assignment for today is to complete the introduction into the nature of matter. So we just talked about on our notes at the beginning of this video, or in the video you watched on my website, you can go back and get that. We have the definition of matter. I want to know what matter is. I want to know how matter is classified. What are these things down here? How can we break down matter into different types? Also, let's talk about the three ways that it can be composed. Let's talk about the three states of matter. List those right here. And then you're going to name two properties of matter. So tell me things that matter does. So a property is just something about matter. You can tell me that it can be made into elements, it can be compounds, it can be mixtures. Matter can be solids, it can be liquids, it can be gas. It's all made up of atoms. You can tell me some properties of matter. If you don't know what these properties may be, look up properties of matter on your computer and tell me two of your favorites. All right, down here at the bottom, you're going to look at the picture on the left right here, and you're going to tell me, is each one an element, compound, or mixture? So number one, we notice that there are yellow triangles and green pentagons. So we know that this is just one thing, so this would probably be an element, but all of them are not yellow triangles like this one right here is. So this one would not just be one element. It would be a mixture of this element and this element. So we would say this was a mixture of elements right here. So for number one, I would write mixture of elements. Number two, for example, has just red blocks, all the same. So that would be just one element. Now, when you see two of them combined together, these two blue dots, okay, that's one compound. Then you have one element. All right, here you have a compound. Here in number 4, you have two elements bonded together, which we know is a compound, and you have two different elements bonded together, which we know is a compound. So you actually have a mixture of compounds here. But here you have a mixture of compounds, these two little ones, and elements. So be sure when you're looking at these that you think about what these square triangles and shapes and colors represent, and tell me if they're just one element, if it's all one compound, if it's a mixture of elements, if it's a mixture of compounds, such as in number 9, Or is it a mixture of compounds together, or a mixture of elements and compounds? So go through each of these, and when you are done, you are going to press turn in. You're going to go back to the assignment on Google Classroom and press turn in. If you don't press turn in, I cannot give you credit. All right, let me know in the comments if you have any questions.